That's what it is.
All right, let's
go. Yeah.
Y'all ready?
Yes, sir.
All right. What's good? Y'all tune to Apartment 5B podcast hosted by your man. I got my hip hop squad up here in effect with me. Now I got my man Vegas from Brooklyn. What's going on, Veg?
Cool. Why you don't have me on here no more, man?
Man, you sick, man. Plus, you're working on the album, right? Yo, Veg, you know what? Can you take the headphones out and see how you sound? Because your audio is kind of muffled.
Kind of low. 1 2 1 2 1 2. Hold up.
You always gotta come up here with this high technology. Every episode you got something new you working with. Man.
Wireless headphones,
wireless headphones, iPhone X,
gangster.
This ain't old.
I'll be selling them shit.
All right, try it now.
I can't even hear y'all and shit. Hold on.
Do teenagers watch this show?
Oh, no, I can hear you.
Yeah, there you go. You sound much
better. I'm a grown man, you know what I mean?
You sound much better. Right, let's reset.
I just came from like 11 hours in the hospital, B.
I feel you, man. That's why I'm glad you're here, man. We gonna have a good
time to still work, yo. Trust me. It's just, you know what I mean?
All right, let's go. We gonna
I ain't gonna, you know, I'm gonna be stealth bomber style with it, baby. Don't even worry about it.
Grab it. All right,
let's have some fun, man. So what we talking about today, Kill?
Hold on. I'm about to reset it again because Vegas got his audio right. So I'm about to reset it right now.
Okay.
What's good? To an Apartment 5B podcast hosted by your man Kill. I got my squad up here in effect with me tonight. I got my man Vegas out of Brooklyn. What's going on, fam?
What's up, man? Chilling, man. Just happy to be here.
All right, no doubt. I got my homegirl Tosh. What's good, Tosh?
Peace.
All right. I got my man Vern out to ATL.
Hoo-dee-hoo.
All right. I got the youngest soul brother, Grab Lovers, in the building. What's going on, man?
Salutations and greetings to all. You know, God is great, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm here, brother.
That's what.
Yo, I just want to ask, who's the topic tonight, bro?
Yo, the topic tonight is somebody who's close and near and dear to your heart.
Okay.
Rock, the #1 soul brother.
You ever heard of him?
That dude. Okay, that guy. All right, I know him. I'm familiar with him.
Yeah, that's the guy we talking about tonight. Y'all know us. We do our salute shows every now and then. We did a joint with Khan. We did a joint with RZA. Tonight is all about Pete Rock, the #1 soul brother out of Mount Vernon, New York. So it was only right that Grab had to sit in on this show. Tasha's from the Vernonville, so we had to get her in on the show. So we gonna be talking it up about everything, our top 5 Pete beats, remixes. We gonna get down and dirty about the question everybody caused so many arguments was better, Main Ingredient or Mac and the Soul Brother. We gonna talk about the first time we heard Pete Rock and all that great stuff. But yo, this is what I want to set it off with, because what I realized is a lot of times people who, you know, don't do production may not really understand everything that Pete has done. So just for a quick hip hop 101 beat production, you know, I want to chop it up about some of the things that Pete has pioneered. Grab, I'm sure you co-sign. #1, this dude, if I'm not mistaken, was the first person to use filtered bass lines.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, for people who don't understand what that means, that's when you take a sample, you take all the highs out, you boost all the lows, and you get a bass line from it. If I'm not mistaken, I think I read the interviews in the studio with Eddie F. He was messing around with S950, came up with that. Why is that used? Because every producer in the 90s has used a bass line.
He brought that to the game, bro.
Yeah. So that #1 is one of the technical things that Pete brought to the game. The other thing is the echoing horns with the multi-pitch on the SP1200. So anything back in the 90s when everybody again used the echoing horns, that's on the multi-pitch. #3, I don't know any other producer's name who is synonymous with a piece of equipment. Whenever I think of SP1200, I think of Pete Rock. As a matter of fact,
they should have gave him a signature one, for real, for real.
Yeah. Now, Grab, you're in this book. Jared,
I'm humble.
Pete's engineers in this book, but Pete's not in this book.
And I couldn't get him for an interview.
Yeah, and I remember me even reaching out to Pete on Twitter, and he was like, "Yo, son, I got enough. I'll write my own book." So I hope the book is coming, Pete. That's just
Yeah.
I hope it's coming.
Somebody got to sit his ass down and do that. You already like,
Yeah.
That's the way that's gonna happen. So.
And the funniest thing about this book is, I swear to you, every other person in here said they bought an SP1200 because Pete Rock had one. Every other person was like, yeah, I got my SP. I seen the back of main ingredient. I saw that. That's what Pete used. That's what I'm getting. And the last thing that's crazy about Pete is that this dude could take 10 seconds out of the SP1200 and they reminisce over, make hit. Now, here's the thing, Rap. I ain't gonna hold you. You know me. I thought Pete was lying. I thought Pete was lying for years. I was like, this nigga gotta have an S950 somewhere hidden under the bed. But recently on IG, he's been playing all his joints straight out the SP. The World Is Yours. He played that, and I'm like, yo. And
he not to cut you off, but he rarely used the S950. He used it, but it would be like in the studio. He had one in the basement, and he used it, but not the way he used that SP1200. Like, I was just listening to the Soul Survivor album the other day and bugging the hell out, yo, because that's all SP1200, that whole album. And I was just bugging off of that joint, like listening to the quality of the sound, like the placement of sounds, where he plays stuff, and like thinking like that's a 10-second machine, dog. Even though he layered, you know what I mean? He layered and made things bigger and thicker, but still, that's a 10-second machine, man.
And again, for people out there and for people who don't get it, you know, most people in those days, the whole thing was the SP1200 and the S950. You use your SP for your drums, use the S950 for your samples, because nobody could really do nothing with just 10 seconds. But somehow, some way, this alien called Pete Rock was able to do it. So that's just a little technical jargon in the background for people. This is what
I got another one for you. Another one that's still about Pete. Number what? 4?
Number 4.
We at 4?
Yeah.
Or 5?
No, we have 4.
He gave birth to Jay Dilla. I'm gonna like my elbow.
Dilla talked about
my spliff on that. I'm gonna like my spliff on that. All right.
Because Dilla always gave props to Pete Rock. Always said he was his favorite.
What? Yo, he told Pete, yo, you the god of the beats, yo. He told him that.
Yeah.
He told him. You know what I mean? He told him that shit. And then with the ad-lib shit, him and Puff was in the elevator, and Puff told him, like, yo, you know, I got all that shit from you. You know what I mean? And they was in the elevator together, and he told him. You know what I mean? So, like, cats know. You know what I mean? My biggest fear for my brother is that he goes down in history not completely recognized for all the things he's contributed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not just what he's created, like the things he's contributed to the game too.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's my biggest worry. So that's why I'm always in down for doing stuff like this. Like fuck it. Y'all could be whoever it is, they could be like, oh, they're mad, whatever. I don't give, that's my bro. Like, I lost my oldest brother, so I only have one brother left. So I'm gonna treat him like he's a piece of fucking gold. And he is. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at what he's brought to people's lives and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, real talk, what he's brought to people's lives musically. I've sat there and watched people tell him, I was in jail when Reminisce came out and it did this for me, and this song did that for me, and blah, blah, blah. I witnessed those things. So it's like, you know, I just want to make sure that his legacy and his name is respected and recognized. You know what I mean? Not just by us folks who know, you know what I mean, but by everyone. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I need Puff to one day just say, yo, that nigga gave me my style, yo. You know what I mean? Because he did, like, down to how he looked. Puff was trying to look like this nigga, like with the fro and all that shit. Yeah, yo, come on, be same barber. It ain't a game, yo. It's not a game, yo. It's not a game, yo.
No doubt. But I was on that, Grap, and that's why I wanted to start the show off with some of the technical jargon that people may not know about.
I feel it.
Know about the music, but you got to know about, you know, why people put him so high. It's not just off the music. It's for the digging. It's for everything he did. But let's jump right into it. Tosh, you tell me this. You being from the Vernonville may be a little different. When was the first time that you heard about Pete Rock?
Oh my goodness. So I always give a full disclaimer. I was born in '83. So when Troy came out in 92, I was only 9 years old, but I was already playing the alto sax. So hearing Troy really inspired me. I was the only girl playing the saxophone in the band, you know. So Troy was playing heavily in my household, not to mention the video was shot right here in Mount Vernon. And a friend of mine, his grandfather owned the barbershop that CL was in. CL used to live in their basement for years. You know what I'm saying? So that particular record really connected to my hometown. And it was like, wow, that's when I was really starting to realize the impact that Mount Vernon was having on hip hop. This was way back when. And I was telling Grab on Twitter, my aunt made Heavy D and the boys outfits for the Sprite commercial. You know, my mother and my aunt, they both sew. So people would come to them for these hip hop inspired outfits. Remember Slick Rick with the outfits he used to wear? You know, my mom and my aunt used to make clothes for people, and they would want to look like these entertainers. Like Brad was saying, Diddy wanted to look like Pete Rock, you know, but that's how it was out here in the Bronx and everything else. So yeah, when I first heard of Pete Rock, it was from Troy, him producing Troy.
All right.
And of course the horns in there, the saxophone, I was playing the sax at the time. So yeah, that was heavy.
Did you try the horn riff? You did. You did. It's all good. You did. You're supposed to. You got a sax. You're supposed to.
Yeah. And speaking of Detroit, this the one joint right here, the Honeysuckle Breeze. You know, that's it right there. Detroit. Vague, tell me, man, when was the first time you heard Pete Rock, man?
The first time I heard Pete Rock was when I heard The Creator. I heard it on the radio. I forget what radio show. Joint came on, and I just remember because the beat plays for a minute. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, damn, what the fuck is this? You know what I'm saying? And they start rhyming and shit, and you know, I got into it, and then I remember I saw the video because you know, like back in the days, like we ain't have all this internet. So if you heard something on the radio, you mad as hell, you ain't tape it, so you can listen to it again. Then you thirsty when you see a video come on, you like, oh shit, that's the joint I heard. And I was just locked in from there, and I didn't even know. I thought he was the rapper because he started rapping, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't know that they rap and DJ and all of that. So The Creator was kind of like the intro for me to Pete Rock, and then seeing everything he did for other artists and then the connections and all of that, it just, you know, just grew bigger. Because I don't think I was that stuck on producers back then until like somebody like Pete Rock, because like for a minute, you know, and forgive me, I was young, you know, I didn't know Dre was doing all the beats, you know what I'm saying? I just knew Dre was a part of one of the rappers and stuff like that. So when I saw Pete Rock was, you know, this producer and everybody was messing with him, and let me just say this, even though you know, being young, I felt like Pete Rock was like one of the first producers to be like, oh, we got to get the hot producer on every project, as opposed to, well, Dre does NWA and Marley does Juice. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of like once one person had a Pete Rock remix, it was like everybody had a Pete Rock remix. Yes, and then, you know, that transferred to different producers throughout time, as you can see with like Pharrell and Timbaland and Primo and everybody. So that run. Yeah, exactly. The Creator was my gateway record from him.
All right, no doubt. So, what's good brother? What was your intro to Pete Rock? What was your first time hearing Pete?
First time hearing Pete Rock? Oh man, probably The Creator. I think that was the first time I heard him. I saw the video that was on that boat and whatnot. And I think that was my introduction right then. I was like, yo, that's kind of dope. Yo, I ain't know nothing about him up to that point.
It was mad hot on that boat.
Word.
It was mad hot on that boat. We were down in the bottom of it, like in the hull of it, where like the part where he's rocking on the stage and there's two people dancing behind him. I'm one of those two people.
Oh, word. That's what's up.
Yeah, it was dumb hot down there, man. It was dumb hot in that joint.
Oh, that's dope.
And the name of the boat that we filmed it on was called the Frying Pan.
That's apropos.
That shit. And it was mad hot in that joint, yo. It was a frying pan in there.
All right.
Yeah, that was a fun day.
Vern, what about you?
I got part A and part B. I'll say Heavy D big time. So obviously Heavy D, we spoke a couple of weeks ago about how much influence Heavy D had on my life just by his lyrics and stuff. So when I've always been a liner note type cat. So him there, but as far as hearing him, I'd say on that Peaceful Journey, Don't Curse. That's what really, when Pete Rock really got big, and like y'all talked about, bro, everybody had to have a Pete Rock joint after that. He had a run, as Grap was saying, and Pete Rock horns was synonymous with dope hip hop in that time frame, man.
Right. Yeah, and it's the same with like Vegas with me. It was the Creator. I heard that, and I was like, yo, this is dope. The thing that really did it for me was Mac and the Soul Brother off the All Sold Out EP. That joint, I seen the video for that. That joint is just what sold it for me. And then, of course, by the time Troy came, it was rap or whatever like that. But tell me this, Tosh, top 5 Pete Rock beats. Okay.
Hold up. That question don't apply to me. When the first time I heard Pete Rock.
You know what? I apologize. Here, let me flip it away. When was
let me say this. The first time I knew he was official.
Yeah, official.
Shit, that was in high school. You know what I mean? When I saw him DJing a high school party, right? And he was cutting up. I Know You Got Soul. And he was tearing it up, and he was dressed like Big Daddy Kane. He looked like Big Daddy Kane because he had on a blue silk shirt, some black pants, and some matching blue ballies to the shirt. And he had his flat top, and he looked like Kane and shit. And I just was looking at him, man, and a tear came to my eye, man. I was like, yo, he's incredible, man. Like, he's incredible. But then when I knew,
who's older, you or Pete?
He's older. He's a year older than me.
Oh, that's it? Y'all stair-step babies.
Yeah. We was stair-step, me and him. And then it's like a big difference between me, him, and my older sister. Like it's a couple, about maybe 5 or 6. No, maybe 8 or 9 years or something like that between him and her. Between me and my oldest brother is 10 years. So, and it's 5 of us. You know what I mean? But what I was gonna say, what really let me know he was official too is when he did Groove Be Chill starting from zero, because he did that studio session all by himself. And he claimed he didn't know what he was doing. We were in Chungking, I remember. He claimed he didn't know what he was doing, but to me, he was amazing me because the place was, big ass board, and he was working. You know what I mean? The engineer was helping him engineer, mix the shit, but he was working. So like for me, that's when I was like, oh yeah, this is about to happen for him, yo.
All right, no doubt. So Tosh, tell me this. What's your top 5 Pete Rock beats? Not remixes, but just straight up and down produced by Pete Rock.
You want all 5 of them right now, or just one of them?
All 5. Nah, give me all 5.
Oh wow, that's all right. All right, we're gonna be here for a little while. Definitely Give Me Yours.
Off of
Nas.
Nas. All right, the Gimme.
That's the Minnie Riperton and Peabo Bryson sample.
Incredible. That's one of my how he chopped that shit up, man. It's like, how did you get the singing out of that motherfucker, yo? Like,
yeah. Incredible. I love that beat. I love that song. Period.
AZ's my guy, man. That's like a big bro.
AZ is one of my favorite lyricists. Like, there's 2 kind of people in this world. You already know where I'm going with this. Another AZ joint, Rather Unique. Just like, he like brought a lot of versatility to AZ at that time. He really needed that, that Mount Vernon flavor. Of course, The World Is Yours by Nas. The Ahmad Jamal sample. Bacon Jacks by I&I, as Grap's group.
Illest use of Impeach the President ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yes, sir.
Ever.
See,
Ever.
I'm here for the
ever.
I'm here for that Prodigy sample as well from Give Up the Good.
Mm. And you know,
I'm
the
here
funny
for the
thing about that
sample
song, I'm sorry, Tosh, not to cut you off. I'm sorry, y'all. Things come to my head. And
Grab, that's why you're here, bro. That's why you're here.
Flow the thing so y'all can experience what I kind of dealt with. I didn't like that record at first. I didn't like the idea of that record.
What?
I thought we were gonna be looked at as like fake thugs or something. But then when we wrote to the song and what we wrote, it wasn't about that. It was more so about brotherhood. And the shit that Pete spit on his verse really happened to him. Like when I came through the door, I was thinking all out war. Like he like I don't even want to talk about it on here, but he had an incident that happened to him where he went somewhere, and when he came in the door, niggas started like swinging on him, basically. And he had to fight his way out of a spot. You know what I mean? I don't want to add names to the situation. We could talk about it a little, a little bit offline or whatever. But yeah, so what the shit he was spitting in there was real. You know what I mean? So it wasn't no thug shit or nothing. It was like some real shit he went through or whatever. And then everybody else's verses, if you listen to it, you know, you hear what it is. Like we talking about, don't be out here faking no jacks. Like, you know what I mean? If you fake jacks, somebody gonna check you and you're gonna get your ass checked. You know what I mean? So don't be out here faking like you hard and you this and that when you're not, you know. But I'm sorry, Tasha, go ahead.
I love it.
I'll be, yeah, we'll be.
Nah, Grab, I live for these kind of anecdotes, you know.
I told Grab we about to do a true Hollywood story just with Grab Lover, just with.
No, you know,
as much as I can remember, man.
Get Pete Rock and CL Smooth on Unsung and have Grab be one of the contributors.
Yeah. No question. No question.
We've been putting that in the universe.
It might just be a Pete Rock Unsung. Yeah, we ain't gonna. Yeah, that's another offline joint. But yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying. Well,
but that
whatever
needs to happen though. My man needs to be spoken about like on that length and on that level. Yeah. You know what I mean? Big homie need to be talked about like that because he's a major contributor in that second wave of hip hop, that second golden era. You know what I mean? The one that they call the golden era, but for real, I think before that was the golden era. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
You know, when Chuck and Heaven, Slick Rick, and all those guys, EPMD, and those superheroes came through. You know what I mean? They were like superheroes to me, man.
But you know what that thing is to it?
Run DMC and all of those guys. Eric B. and Rakim, Kane, you know, Biz. That's man, them dudes.
But that's who that's the age in us, because that's my golden era too. You know what I mean? That's my golden era too. Is when people say golden era, I never think 90s. For me,
no.
You know what I mean? But that's an age thing. You know what I mean? So you know, that's how I look at it too.
And I think your golden era is determined on what molded you,
right,
and what really captured you. You know what I mean? At that time, you know what I mean? So that's what molded me and captured me. You know, cats like that, Early Native Tongue, you know, all that BDP, you know, all that stuff.
Stuff like this is my goal.
Yes.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Yo,
exactly.
You're like the African American Nardwuar. It's dope.
I always got something in somewhere, man. The crazy thing, my boss found this in Florida for me, and he copped it for me. And the craziest thing was, I was at this show as a kid. My mom took me to this show at the Philadelphia, back when it was at the Spectrum, back when it was the Spectrum. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? Yo, Grab Lover, you already know we got our man DJ Iran up with us now, man. What's good, Iran?
I apologize for being late, guys, man. I was at something I couldn't break from, but I'm glad to be on.
Man, it's all good. It's all good. It's all
good. Iran.
Hey, what's up, Grab? Good to see you, bro.
Ain't nothing.
Yo, Vay, what are your top 5 Pete Rock beats, man?
I had one more.
Oh, my bad, Tasha.
Yeah, I cut her off, yo. My fault, y'all.
No, it's all good. Just to add on to the Faking Jacks beat, I said I was here for the Mobb Deep sample. Havoc saying ain't no time for faking jacks, because brothers that fake jacks get laid on their back.
It's actually Havoc.
Love it. I said Havoc.
Havoc.
Yeah, that's
early.
Havoc.
That's Prodigy. Now I was like, wait a minute, that's Havoc. And the last beat out of my top 5 is We Roll with Pete Rock, Max B, and Jim Jones.
That's a dope track, man.
Yeah.
You know, Pete, he uses beats again and again. So he also had Camp Low on that too for 80 Blocks from Tiffany.
Yeah.
First part,
either
right?
way, that's a Cool in the Gang joint.
Yeah.
Love that joint.
Yeah, that joint was crazy. That joint was crazy. Veg, what you got?
Quick anecdote about that beat, real quick. Robbo told me something. He said he was in you know, one of them amphitheaters in New York, you know, in Manhattan, like the park, you know, the Central Park stage stuff. I think Pete and Primo was doing a Central Park stage, and he went. So he ended up, I guess, getting on stage, and I think he kicked Faking Jacks or what have you. So he's standing there. So I don't know who played it. I don't know if Premier played it or Pete played it. One of them played We Roll. Yo, Rob looks at Primo and like, yo, you did that shit? And Primo looked at him like, nah, yo, that was Pete. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that beat is, yo, yeah, one of my tops too. Go ahead, but I'm sorry, y'all continue.
I just thought that was bro. That's what you hear. Like Vern said, that's what you hear from them, man. We hear from the behind the scenes stories. Veg, what's your top 5 Pete beats, man?
Well, obviously, I already named it The Creator because that was the first joint I heard. That's what got me into Pete Rock.
Oh, you know what, Veg? I'm sorry for one sec. I just want to put this out there. When I told people about this, I said we're not including Troy because everybody's gonna have it. So I don't want people at the end of the show be like, "Yo, how ain't nobody named Troy?" We in the same thing we talk about remixes. I was like, not shut them down because we all gonna say shut them down. So I just want to put that out there so niggas ain't like, how come ain't nobody saying Troy? So all right, my bad, Veg.
Translation: Kill took the best shit out of the fucking category. So now we got to go and
make it hard for him. Make it hard for
him. You know. Yeah,
pause.
Straighten out. Damn. You said, yeah, let me say pause after this fucking title. Straighten out.
Come on, y'all. We still doing that. We still pausing. We still gotta do pause.
We gotta do it for the kids, man. We gotta do it for them.
It didn't, like make it hard. Nah, dog. Hold up. Sorry.
But yeah, also another joint is Children off of Styles P joint. Featuring Pharoah Monch. That fucking beat was sick. That shit made me look at the credits like, yo, who the fuck did this? And I was shocked because like Pete kind of been sniper producing on the low. Like I don't even know he on a track till I'm like, damn, this shit is hot. And I look, I'm like, damn, this is Pete Rock. So that's 3. Another one is Holy Moly with Talib Kweli. That shit, I love that track, man. That shit is a short track too. I think it's like maybe 3 minutes. You know what I'm saying? At the most.
It's the same length on the beat CD too.
Yeah, right. You know the way, you know, just the whole gospel feel, but it's hip hop at the same time. Like I love that joint. And the last one for me is Ghostface and Raekwon. Ragu joint.
Yeah, that's dope.
The Fish Scale album. Again, like I mean, even off the joints I named, you see the variety in the dude's skill. You know what I'm saying? You can see pulling from everywhere. All them shits is dope. But that was my top 5.
All right, no doubt. That Ragu joint was crazy too. Vern, yo, you know what? Yeah, Vern, what's your top 5, baby?
All right. Hey.
Wow,
hey. Yes, sir.
Love sexy.
He put a defibrillator to Run DMC with Down with the King. Brought him back to life with that joint.
Yeah.
One in the million.
Said he was the Salon of his era. He was saving groups, man. This cat was saving groups.
Let me see. 1 in a million, funk for you, baby. Off that soundtrack.
Listen, it drives you out.
Yes, sir.
1 in a million.
Poetic Justice. Yeah.
Poetic Justice.
Yeah. In the House. I love that track because number one, I love Tribe, the Q-Tips joint, and then I love Pete Rock. So both of them together. So that's 4. And shoot, got so many. I'm gonna go with another heavy Blue Funk, man. Love it. Yeah. So that's 5. I got 20 more on here, but I'm gonna go with those.
Right.
Well, you already know how we do, bro. I mean, Vern was the one who was mad at me. Like, I can only get 5. I'm like, gee, we'd be here all night. So, no, Iran, what's your top 5, man? I know Pete is one of your favorite all-time greatest. We've talked plenty of days about it.
Well, you know what? Let me qualify that. How I want to qualify that, and if you guys would just take a second to listen to my pillars. These are the pillars for me, the hip hop pillars. There are people before these people, and there's people after these people. But I think in these particular spaces, I don't think people could be touched. Here are the pillars. First pillar, I'll give to Pete Rock. I don't think anyone in hip hop has ever orchestrated a record better than him, meaning having so many sound sources, having them all in key, having them all work together. That's the pillar he owns. DJ Premier owns a pillar. I've never seen a producer do so much with so little. That's why he holds a pillar.
Minimalist.
Yes, minimalist. Q-Tip holds a pillar because I think he is the greatest cherry picker of loops in hip hop history. He is the greatest loop finder in hip hop history. Another pillar goes to Large Professor. I don't think anyone was more meticulous and took the hip hop production thing as seriously as he did. The last two, the one goes to Dilla. I don't think anyone has chopped up samples the way he has, like really meticulously rearranging arrangements in its own way. And the last one will go to Madlib, because I don't think anyone will find a rarer record than him. He's going to find a Brazilian Amish version of the Jackson 5, like some insanity. So Pete Rock holds the pillar of, I think, the greatest hip hop orchestrator of all time. But that being said, I want to bring up some Pete Rock records I think are important to me and I think need to be revisited by some people. One of them is Worldwide, him and Robbo off Main Ingredient. It's a minimal record, but the chopping of Funky Penguin and the bass line, the way it's going 1,000 different directions, that needs to be noticed. Another one, of course, is Rather Unique, because I wasn't used to a chord stopping. I'm used to Pete Rock stuff going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then going back around to find something to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then nothing between to the 8, and then start again 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's no more notes after that. That was amazing to me. That sparked his genius. Another one I wanted to use, and I want to use it because the original couldn't be topped, so it's almost useless to do it. But he went and did a Reminisce remix, and what made that remix powerful to me was he used the Tom Scott horns again, but just found a different horn structure to use for him to say, everybody fell in love with the horns. I got another horn break off there I like, and reflip it again. That was amazing for me as well. So those are the ones I won't say are my favorites, because a lot of you have already said my favorites, but I think some of the ones that deserve revisit. And I want to tell people to also revisit Specialize, because that was kind of like right before the hiatus between him and CL. That was their last record together, and I think that was a great encapsulation of their energy they had together before reuniting.
No doubt. Tone, what you got on? What's your top 5?
Man, Pete Rock has so many amazing beats. It's almost impossible. But I'm gonna try to go against the grain and not name The World Is Yours and some of the usual suspects. One is joint called Boston.
Do what you do, bro. Because I got slept on bangers on my list too. So
yeah. One is a joint called Boston he did with Ed O.G. That joint, it's got that boom bap feel that I love. You know what I'm saying? So I like
Bob
Boston
Marley
a whole lot. Yeah, I like Carmel City off the Main Ingredient. That's one of my favorite hip hop beats in general.
I like many of them.
Rock beat. Amazing joint. I like this joint Lots of Love on Mecca and the Soul. That's one of my joints by him. The Saga Begins with Rakim off the 18th Letter. I like that joint. And one Vega I had talked about in the earlier podcast, No Fears off that Soul Survivor 2 he did with Lila James, man. That's one of my favorite beats. One of my favorite songs in general as well. So those are 5 that I want to bring out the cut, man.
All right, no doubt. Before we go to Grant, where's 5? My 5, I got to straighten it out. it goes to a piece of what Iran was saying about him being such a great orchestrator. You could have told me that whole record didn't come from one record. You know what I mean? So hearing the chocolate buttermilk from the Kool and the Gang, and then hearing, you know, the different pieces of it was crazy. This is the joint, one of my favorite Pete Rock beats. Nobody ever says this, but I love this record. Heavy D's Got Me Waiting. You know what I mean? Like,
got that on here, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Luther Vandross bigged them up on that record.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah. He met Luther at an ASCAP award ceremony or something, and he told him he liked the record.
Yeah.
He told him he liked the record. I mean, Luther told him he liked the record.
Yeah, that's crazy. But
that's what he told me.
In the House, like same thing that Vern said, just that flipping. It just set the album off perfect.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just
Lead off hitter.
My God.
I always talk about the lost art of how we used to start off records, and it would be excitement with it. And it's like when you put that in and you get past the Bismarck piece, you go into that doom, like, yeah, it's just crazy. Again, like Ty said, faking Jax, man, the way he freaked impeached the president on that was just disgusting to me. You know what I mean? I used to always have him neck to neck with Premier flipping it on Unbelievable for Biggie, but I got to give it for flipping it on Faking Jax. I loved it. And then on top of that, I love the video. For me, I'm a studio junkie, so to see the video with the SP12 and the Mackie board and everything was crazy for me. The Game off of Soul Survivor with Ray, Ghost, and Prodigy, you know what I mean, was just crazy. And what I loved about Soul Survivor, the first one, was just Pete was always so smooth with it. But when Soul Survivor came out, it was like I wasn't ready for the Game. I wasn't ready for these harder beats, you know what I mean, which was crazy to me. And the last one I'm going to go with is another one off of, and it's a salute to Grap because it's half man, half amazing. And Grap, you co-produced that with your brother.
I made that beat.
I apologize. Grap made I apologize.
Take that off the list. That's my beat.
That's my you know what?
Grap is funny. Grap is funny.
I'm gonna come over
that
here.
Is my beat. He just added that and the scratches. That was it.
All right.
That's my beat. And he changed the drum sounds. He did not change the drum pattern or nothing. He said, Grap, I just want to change the drum sounds, because I had like drums on there that were not as hard as the drums he put on there. So I knew that, you know, being he's a drum king, I was like, do that, please. And he changed the drum sounds. The beat is mine.
All right, no doubt. I apologize, good brother.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good. You're good, bro. You're good.
Co-produced
that's my baby right there. That's my baby.
I feel you. I'll take that off, and I'll go with another one of my favorite I&I joints, Grown Man Sport. I love it.
That was crazy.
I love Grown Man. Another one of my favorite joints. So, Grap, what are your 5 favorite Pete Rock?
I could definitely start off with Just Some Men. The
remix. The remix.
Yes, remix, Just Some Men remix. The intro to that, just how that joint just something like this. Something is just so funky. I could just listen to that intro. I used to just bring the record back and just listen to the intro before the lyrics came over and over and over and over. Yo, that intro is so funky, yo. So that's one. You know, it's mad of them. Like I've heard, you know, it's mad shit. But I'm just gonna say ones that people probably don't remember or don't remember or have like kind of a little more obscure or whatever. Out the Box with Tony Touch, Large Professor, and Master Ace. It's a very simplistic beat, but it's very funky too. Out the Box. That's 2. What's that song? Amazing. So this is what's that joint? The joint he did with Grand Agent. So this I think they call it Funky or something. I got the 12-inch somewhere. It's Grand Agent and him. This is what they call soul, or this is what they call funky. Something he says like that in the hook. But the rhymes that he rhymed on there and the beat is like once again simplistic but funky. You know what I mean? That's 3, right? Respect Mine off of Soul Survivor.
Go
back and listen to that beat, yo. Like he got something in there going, like it's like the drums, of course, are like, you know, you got that little roll in there, right? And then he got something in there going, like it's like echoing with the sample. It's like it's some ill shit. Like just go back and listen to that record. Like listen to the beat. Like the beat is crazy, and they killed it lyrically too. Like they killed it lyrically, but that beat is crazy. I was just listening to it the other day and bugging out off of it. Respect Mine, and then for the fifth one, it's got to be Girls They Love Me.
Girls, boom, boom.
That's one of them situations.
Hey,
Marley,
okay,
where they could bring him an idea and he just puts it together. Pete made that beat on a pause button tape. He created that snare because the way you create the snare is you stop the meters record and it goes. So he created that snare. So he made that beat on a pause button tape and turned it into heaven. And then he hooked it up, and Marley got the credit for it. But that's Pete's beat. So Girls They Love Me.
Yeah. Hey, Grab, can we ask you this?
Yes, sir.
How I don't want to call it ghost production because it was all under the family, under the Untouchable family. But
right.
How if you can give a percentile like 20%, 50%, 70 to 80%, how much of a percentile would you say was Pete involvement in the Big Time album, the second album? Because I heard a
80.
large jump. I heard a large. Whoa.
Yeah, he did. If I had the album in front of me, I could call off the song.
I'll call them out for you if you want to tell me which one.
Yes, I'll say yes or no. Go.
The reason why I asked Grap is because I heard a large departure from Overweight Lover to Big Time. I'm like, yo, this is a little more progressive than I would believe Eddie F is not capable of. That just didn't seem his style.
Mm-hmm.
Like using rigor mortis. I didn't see him do it. I could see him using more bounce to the ounce. I saw that, but rigor mortis was rare. That using the Let It Flow, the Amen Brothers. That
was the Amen Brother came off a pause button tape. I mean, Let It Flow was a pause button beat. Move for Love was a pause button beat.
Word.
I need the titles.
All right, I know we got our own thing. It's Ted, right? More bounce.
That's Teddy.
More bounce, flexing.
More bounce. Hold on. More bounce. That's the more bounce to the out. That was Eddie because that was a straight loop or whatever.
All right, you ain't heard nothing yet?
That was Eddie too.
Okay.
Yeah.
You ain't heard nothing yet?
That's Pete.
Somebody
from the pause button. Go ahead.
Somebody for me?
That's Eddie and Neville Hodge.
You said Move for Love. Let me see.
Yeah.
Easy Does It, Do It Easy.
Easy Does It. Dude, that's Howie T, I think.
Okay.
Look at the credits. Is it Howie T?
I'm going off my phone just to listen. I ain't even got that yet. Let me see.
Oh, okay. I think that's Howie T.
A Better Land.
Easy Does It. Do it easy. That record, Pete ain't do that.
Okay. A Better Land.
That's Pete.
Okay.
That's Pete. That's Pete. That's the pause button beat.
Big Time.
Yeah, that's Pete.
All right, here we go. You said flexing. Here we go again, y'all.
Here we go again, y'all. No, that was I think that was Teddy.
Okay, yeah, it sounded like that. And let it flow.
P-Rock.
Let It Flow.
Mm-hmm.
That's Pete.
Yeah, that was Pete. Yeah, Let It Flow was Pete. So he did like 50.
Wow.
You know what I mean? He did at least 4 joints on there with pause, like turning in pause button tapes. Like, yo, check this out, Ev. Check this out. Oh, this is crazy. All right, let's hook it up. Ooh. And finally, Eddie gave him the SP.
Well,
and my pops, I know I told this before, but my pops used to think he was selling drugs because he was at Eddie's house so late at night, making beats and making demos with CL and shit eventually when he met CL.
Well, how about let me ask this, Grap, and I apologize again. What about the pre stuff, like those first 2 records he got placements on, the 2 Kid and Play records? Were you there for that stuff?
No, the Bills at the Door or
yeah, he had two. His first 2 productions that his name was on by himself were the 2 records with Kid and Play. Bill at the Door.
First one was Groovy Chill.
Groovy Chill, starting from 0.
Yes, I was there for that.
Wow.
I was just telling them that he did that in Chung King. I was there for that. He said he didn't know what he was doing, but it looked like he knew what he was doing to me.
Wow.
And that was like the first big studio session I ever went with him to.
Wow.
Stock Zero. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Thank you, Grab.
Man wasn't in the wheelchair then either.
All right.
Word is bomb.
So we gonna move over to the remix tip a little bit. I know Puff said,
Excuse us.
No. I want all this stuff. Stuff. But moving over to the remix tip, because Puff said he invented the remix. I beg to differ because I say Pete did.
Right.
He's brought it to the forefront in the masses. Vay, top 5 Pete Rock remixes, not including P's Shut Them Down.
Grab said it, man. Just a Man remix. That fucking intro, man. That shit is infectious, man. Even when it comes on to this day.
Yes, yo.
Same vibes, same feelings come on everything.
Put it on.
Hey, it's all right. Look, I ain't gonna stop you. And shit. Wait, you said top 3, right?
I mean, if you got 5,
All right. I like the Jump Around remix.
Yeah.
Because I already like House of Pain's Jump Around. And then when Pete Rock did the remix, I'm like, God damn, this shit ain't even better. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of my favorites. I think this was mentioned, Mary J. Blige's Reminisce remix. Like that joint, you know what I'm saying? I thought it was perfect pairing, you know what I'm saying? And one more, Down with the King remix, Run DMC, and that was mainly because, like, I saw Run DMC had the bald heads and the black on. I was like, nah, it's over, fam. Like, chill. And then I heard Down with the King, and I was like, well, that shit tight. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of enjoyed it for the simple fact that it looked like Pete Rock was just like he couldn't miss. You know what I'm saying? Every time he did somebody remix, the shit was dope. So, but that's one of my favorites too. Even when I hear the beat to this day, you know, it's just classic to me. So that was mine though.
All right, no doubt. Vern, what you got, good brother?
Man, I'm glad I get to say this before everybody else. Man, that Adore, Let It All Hang Out. Bro,
oh yeah.
Oh my goodness, I love them horns on that mug, man. Yeah, that California Souls. Yeah.
I was in that video.
Word.
I'm one of the shadows dancing. I was in that video. That's my guy from the Vernon, Eddie Castellano.
Okay.
Yeah.
Real hip hop, DOS Effects.
Absolutely.
15 minutes he made that beat.
Wow.
Oh, come on, man.
15 minutes.
Remember,
you want me to tell the story again, Rock? Kill?
Yeah, when we was in DC, tell the story, B.
Okay, so here's the story with that remix. We were playing PS2, and I was busting his ass at the time. I was pretty good at PS2 at the time, and I was busting him in some basketball, and he was playing. He was like, oh, yo, I gotta go to the studio. I thought he was lying. I thought he was faking. Yo, I gotta go to the studio, man. I gotta be down there by, I think it was by 3 o'clock or some shit, and it was like maybe 2. You know what I mean? So we cut the game off, and he went downstairs and he stood in front of the drum machine for about a minute. Like he just stood there. He was like, all right, bet. He started grabbing joints. And I swear to y'all, 15 minutes, that beat was done, and we were going out the door, man.
Ridiculous.
We were going out the door with the disc.
That's ridiculous.
All right, it's done. I was like, yo, you finished? Word? He played that shit. I was like, oh shit, yeah, that's crazy right there. All right, he was like, yo, let's go. Wow. So he went down and laid that shit down, man. Yeah, 15 minutes. I watched that. I witnessed that. Wow. That's what I said in the I bear witness 15 minutes he's gone in that song I did with Edo G and Rob. That's what I was talking about. That right there. Where'd Tosh go?
Tosh had to jump off. She had to jump off at 10.
Oh, okay. All
right. Let me see.
Hey guys, I'm sorry I got on late, but I don't particularly know her, but I recognize her face. Is she the lady on Instagram called Analog something?
Yes, Analog Lady.
Wow. Okay.
Tasha Digital.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So let me see. Number 3, Can't Stop the Prophet, J. Rue the Damager remix. And then 2 that people might not pull, Jamal Faze Jamal. And last one, this is a real obscure. Looking Through Patient Eyes, PM Don. Pete brought something to PM Don, man.
No, I don't even know nothing about that.
I gotta find that, yo. I barely remember that. That was a good one.
Yeah, man.
I gotta find that. Looking through patient eyes. Okay.
Yeah, I got to write that down my damn self.
It was at one point, man, when he was just doing mad remixes, yo, like mad remixes.
I hear it
up. Mick Jagger, all kind of people, man.
Scritti Politti.
Yeah, Scritti Politti. Oh, yo.
Yo, you say he did a joint for Mick Jagger?
Yeah, he was. I don't know if it ever happened, but he was supposed to do a remix for Mick Jagger, man. Yeah, I don't think it happened though. But he did a remix for your girl Lady Gaga.
Get that bag.
Poker face joint.
Get that bag.
What you call it? Sniper producing? Vegas, what you call sniper producing?
Hell yeah, man. I ain't know none of that shit you just said.
Straight American sniper style, yo. Well, yeah, I'm sorry. Continue.
Not at all, good brother. So who you got for top 5 Pete Rock remixes?
Man, I was just thinking just now. He has so many of them, but these are ones I like a whole lot. I like that You Can't Stop the Prophet with Daru. That was cold, man. Maybe my favorite is that Respiration remix he did with Black Star. Crazy. The joint he did with Lost Boys Renee, that Renee remix, crazy.
He did a Renee.
Fade Them All Jamal, like Vern said, Fade Them All Jamal. I still listen to that joint often. That Fade Them All joint. Man, what's another one that I haven't heard? Put It On by Big L. He did a Put It On remix for Big L.
Oh yeah.
So those probably my 5 off the top.
And that remix was unofficial. That was he did that on some just rolled L's acapella over a beat type thing.
Let me ask you a question real quick, bro.
Yes.
Why? And maybe it's an odd question, but why did Pete do so many? His remixes are amazing, but what made him? Did he ever talk to you about like, yo, I'm gonna do all these remixes? Was he just feeling the original records and it inspired him to the remixes, or what? Because he's like the master of the remixes, man.
Yeah. Right. I think he just knows how to mold his sound to an artist. You know what I mean? I think that's what makes him so dope about the remix. He never it wasn't a thing where he's like, I'm gonna start remixing records. Nah, he just he started getting to work. You know what I mean? So, and that's what he loves to do. So he just like, yeah, this shit is dope. I do this. I run acapellas over my beats anyway. You know what I mean? And it wasn't that at that time because acapellas weren't really heavy at that time. They came more like in the like 90s. Later on in the 90s or whatever. But it was just a thing of him getting that work, man. And he just loved doing it. You know what I mean? But I was going to speak to real quick, the Respiration remix. Black Thought just recently spoke about that on an interview with Pete Rosenberg on Hot 97. Rosenberg brought it up, you know what I mean? And how Thought killed it. And it led to Thought shouting me out in the interview, you know what I mean? Which was cool. You know what I mean? Myself and Rob O, because he was talking about how he basically used to come to New York and hang with us. You know what I mean? He would hang with us. And they told me, I wasn't around one time, but him and Common came up one time. And Rob and Pete and them told me that they was rhyming over some beat that I made a beat off of the Rocky soundtrack. And it was like, the beat was broke to me. It was like it needed repairs. You know what I mean? But somehow it got played, and they said that Common and Thought was just freestyling over that joint for like an hour straight or some shit, crazy shit like that. So that was dope for me. But yeah, but I just wanted to speak to that remix, like he spoke about that. I mean, it's funny that you mentioned that remix.
That's dope. For my top 5, my favorite Pete Rock remix ever, Lots of Lovin', 12-inch. Not again, like yo. That Lots of Lovin' remix, just certain times I was on Ogons Avenue. Like I can remember where I was with my old head Steve, and he put that in. I was just like, yo, this shit is crazy. He changed the whole vibe of the record. He changed the whole vibe of the record. Like you listen to the OG Lots of Lovin', don't sound nothing like the remix. Again, Can't Stop the Prophet. What I loved about that was at that time, Primo was like my number 1, and it wasn't too many times that cats got to come behind Primo, and I just felt like Pete killed that. I'm gonna go with one a lot of folk don't talk about, the Champ MC on the Real remix that she did. That was crazy. Can't tell you how many times I jacked those drums when I first started making. Another one that people don't talk about, he did a remix for Monica, the "Before You Walk Out My Life" remix.
Yeah, with the Summer Madness thing in there.
Which was stupid. And the last one, another one people don't talk about, because I hate the original song, Mary J. Blige's "Family Affair." I hated the original version.
Yes, that's the one I was talking about. When my man mentioned "Reminisce," I was really thinking of that remix.
Family Affair remix, when that nigga took the Temptations, Pop with Rolling Stones. Woo! And oh my God, just
yes, Kill. Stole one of mine, Kill.
I'm sorry, brother. Yo,
you good, Captain? You good? You good? Because I got a couple that y'all got anyway.
Man, it was crazy. It was crazy how he destroyed that. So that's my 5. Iran, what you got? And then we coming to Grant with his 5.
Well, you guys have kind of depleted a lot of mine, but 2 I would definitely want to bring up is the Get on the Mic remix. Reason why I bring that up is because it was a complete departure from what the original sounded like, and it was so different to me. It sounded like one of those New Orleans funerals, like those, what's it called? It sound like a third line. It sound like a third line. I was like, yo, what is he doing? And then the drums drop, and I'm like, yo, it makes sense. That's one of them. The other one is, of course, is Take You There, because how far of a departure again that was from the original. The original Take You There, was rising to the top, and then he does this one with this incredible Nautilus beat,
Nautilus bass line,
and to speak on to what Grap said when it first come on with the daggone, it's a world premiere. It's a world premiere. That's an intro I can listen to for about an hour and a half straight.
Word to mother.
It's a world premiere with the bass line going, and of course I have to put Just a Man in there because I have the original record Pete used to do Just a Man, and I still can't figure out what the pieces. Like I hear them, like when I play the song, I go, that's the part he used. But your man's a master, brother. Like I hear everything in the record, like that's what he used, but I can't figure out how he put it together. The Just a Man remix is definitely a titan of remixes. A literal titan, and then he busts your ass with the scratching at the end of it. Like really just totally busts your ass with the scratching. But those are the ones that I would like to bring up because I know we were all going to kind of go cover the same ground a lot. But those always stood out to me.
And here's the thing, too. For cats out there who may not know, you can get the Rare Tracks joint. I always love this cover. This has a whole rack of Pete Rock remixes on it. It's got the Searching remix, Take You There, like Iran was talking about, the I Gotta Love, Mech and the Soul Brothers. So nice little Japanese piece from the Rare Tracks joint. Grab.
Yes, sir.
Stories for them 5 for all the remixes we done named.
Yeah, I got of course Just Some Men, the Das EFX remix, Lots of Lovin' remix. One that no one said, the Militia remix. Once again, coming behind Premier on a Gangstar record. You know what I mean? Only I think him and Large Pro were able to do that.
Very true.
Out of all of our hip hop guys out here, I think only those 2 guys came behind Premier and remixed something of his.
Oh, you know what? Go ahead. I'm my fault. I just thought of another one, but I'll wait. I'm sorry.
All right, the Militia remix, that's 3. The Family Affair remix, the Mary J joint, because he totally made that song likable.
Yeah.
And Dancery is more tolerable. In this Dancery is, I can listen to that now. I can listen to that. Hateration, Holleration, I can take all of that with that remix. You know what I mean? That when I hear the original, I think of Chris Kattan dancing in Undercover Brother to that song in that movie. That's what I think of. That's what I despise, that original, yo. Yeah. As soon as I hear it, that's what I think of. Him with turned up and you fake mad face and doing all that wild ass shit he was doing. I think of that. So yeah, Family Affair remix. And my last one is going to be one that y'all may not have heard or may have heard. It's the Get Down remix for Monica. They didn't even take it. Y'all ain't heard it because they didn't take it. And because to me, it was way better than the original. I'm still looking for the cassette that I have it on. I have the cassette somewhere that I have it on. I'm gonna find it, and when we come to one of these moments, I'm gonna definitely rock it for y'all. You know what I mean? Me and Robbo rhymed on it. We split 4 bars apiece, and we killed it. You know what I mean? And that remix is crazy. So I'm gonna leave it right there with that remix, like the Get Down remix, man. Y'all have to hear that. When I get my hands on it, I will definitely share it with y'all. Without a question.
And Kill, I forgot one, and I apologize. But one of them was one of his early remixes.
And that's 6 iron. So you cheat.
I cheated. That's what all my high school girlfriends said. Every last one of them said. But I'm just playing. But I think no one ever brings up one of his early ones, the Lisa Baby remix he did for Father MC.
Mm-hmm.
If we're gonna go there, then I'm gonna throw out Rampage remix.
Wow, that's worth it though.
The one with the ill drums and
the discotheque.
At one point, you know, he was doing 2 remixes for every song. He had another remix for
Rampage.
No, the Brand Nubian. Slow Down.
Really?
Oh, word.
Wow.
Yes. He used the same shit that they use for y'all on my nutsack. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Doom, doom, doom. Slow down. Yeah, he did the 2 remixes to that. And they only took the other one.
You're scaring me because that is in key.
Yeah.
Your brother's a genius, bro. Holy smoke.
Yeah.
And then he gave that beat to the Young Guns anyway, so that he lived out.
Yeah.
That's dope.
No doubt. Now, here's a little controversy. There's been a lot of arguments about this throughout the years. Real quick, which one is doper? Mac and the Soul Brother, The Main Ingredient. Vegas.
He had the nerve.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
The nerve. Hold on, everybody. Kill had the nerve to say real quick. Okay, Kill. Okay.
I'm not gonna,
okay, Kill.
I
need to roll another spliff behind that.
Here's my answer. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do it. That's like saying, so what's better? You know, mom's chocolate cake or mom's fried chicken? I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I think they both hold 2 different spaces in his creativity. Yeah. I think they both I think they tower above their contemporaries at the time. I think when Mecca came out, it was very hard to compare that to anything else. And the same thing with Main Ingredient. Main Ingredient was a more refined. It's like saying, what do you appreciate more, your high school diploma or your college diploma?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
one led to the other.
For the rest of us, because I can tell my student loans is gonna vote for the college, so we could go with that. But for the rest of us who would like to choose, my favorite has always been The Main Ingredient.
Yes, sir.
That cover, I can tell you how many days I just would stare at the back of this album cover before I had equipment of my own, and would just stare at the SP and just literally look at these records and everything like that. So again, no knock on Mecca, love this, but if I had to pick one, it's gonna be The Main Ingredient. Babe, what you got?
Oh man,
same thing, man. Main Ingredient. I think, you know, obviously I had both albums. When Mecca and the Soul Brother came out, you know what I'm saying? I loved it. I love like the interludes, you know what I'm saying, the beats playing, because nobody did no shit like that before. But when Main Ingredient came out, like I already said, you know, it was refined and it was different. You know what I'm saying? It was like a new Pete Rock, a different Pete Rock from the era of doing a bunch of remixes and the horns, you know, because everybody tried to say, oh, he's just all horns and shit. But I listened to The Main Ingredient like a month ago, and that was like the first time in a long time I listened to it, you know, from beginning to end. And I just couldn't believe. I was like, damn, like I didn't remember these records, or most of them, by looking at the back of the cover. But once they started to play, I was like, yeah, this album was shit, and it's kind of underappreciated.
Yes, it is.
In hip hop. You know what I'm saying? When people talk about some of their favorite albums, it's like they never bring that joint up. But yeah, man, I would definitely pick Main Ingredient though.
All right, no doubt, no doubt. Vern, what you got on it?
I mean, I'm going with everybody else, brother. Main Ingredient. Mecca, I would say, and this is no knock or whatever, but when I was in high school, I had the Ford Escort with the louvers on it, with the house speakers. At the time, that was my ride. But the Main Ingredient is your first grown man car. I mean, dude, it starts off like we said in the house, Carmel City. The sun won't come out. I gotta love all the places, take you there, searching. It's on you, and then get on the mic. I mean, I skipped over some, but man, that album, like you said, babe, we don't put that album where it needs to be as far as one of the best hip hop albums, your favorites or whatever you want to call it. We don't talk about it as much as we should.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Tone, what you got?
Man, it was hard because I look at these two albums the same way I used to look at Low End Theory and Midnight Marauders. You know what I'm saying? Like, depending on which day you ask me, you know, I might say a different album, but kind of overall, I would say the Main Ingredient, because I feel like the Main Ingredient is more balanced, like from first track to the end. I liked it. Like, every track to me is either great to good. I don't skip in. And not saying I'm skipping stuff on Mecca, but Mecca is big for the singles. You know, it had Troy. Obviously, one of the top 3 rap songs ever. It had, you know, Straighten It Out, Lots of Loving. But I felt like there were a couple of tracks on it I didn't necessarily love. But Main Ingredient, man, was just, I like the samples. It felt right, man, from first track to the end, man. I give it a slight edge, man. And really, the sad part about both of those albums is when you think about some of the greatest albums in hip hop history, neither one of them really come up in a lot of conversation, man. It's kind of unfortunate because both of them can stand the test of time with all the contemporaries during that year that each one of them came out. So it's kind of unfortunate that people don't talk about the Main Ingredient like they talk about, you know, Selling Pluralistic or something like that. 94 albums, 93 albums, but you know, I'll give it to the Main Ingredient, a little slight edge.
Yeah, and I think this is just one of the things I miss about electronic music that this generation, just being able to look at liner notes and be able to touch something and look at the pictures. And you know, this back in the day when I used to take my little silver marker and just tag up all the songs I liked and everything like that. So yeah, I'm going with a Main, like I said earlier. Tell me this: top 10 producers. Does Pete Rock fall? I would pray I wouldn't have to ask this question to folk, but does Pete Rock fall? Where does Pete Rock fall in your top 10 of producers? Tone?
I'm gonna be honest, man. I've never had him no less than 5. I mean, from my first introduction to Pete Rock all the way through to now, I honestly can't really name 4 or 5 beat makers, producers better than Pete Rock. I always had him right there with Primo, Jay Dilla, Marlon Marr, and you know, kind of right there, man. You know, it's like that's a Dilla. I think I said Dilla, but always right around there, man. Top 5 for me. I don't think he's ever going to move out of my top 5. To be honest with you, so yeah, he's always right there, man. Top 5.
All right, no doubt. What about you, Ira?
Absolutely. I think Pete Rock is the best hip hop producer ever. So I qualify best and greatest different. I will not say he's the greatest, but he is by far the best one ever.
All right.
The best one to take what is the art, what is basically let me recreate from these already created pieces. And no one has ever done it on such a level. Like it's like finding out it's like finding out you can do finite math with a 5th grade education. That's what his production was to me. Like, wow, you can do this much tapestry with this one needle versus 20. You know, so he is in my book, and again, it's my humble opinion, he is the greatest of hip hop producers I've ever seen. The greatest one.
All right, no doubt. Now we talking about where does Pete rank? I said previously he all ranks in our top 10 somewhere, and Iran called him his number 1. Grab, right before you fell off, let me ask you this: What do you think is doper? Main Ingredient, or Mecca?
I honestly sit where Iron sits with it, but gun to my head, it would be Main Ingredient.
All right,
gun to my head, it would probably be Main Ingredient. yeah, it would probably be meaningful because it's like the progression of the sound. You know what I mean? And that album also directly influenced a brother named James Yancey that
I think I heard of him before.
Yeah,
directly, heavily influenced that young man. So yeah, that's the one. That gun to my head, it'll be that one. But I sit where Iron sits with it. Like, yeah, it's very difficult to, you know, to actually weigh out the two, like, because like he said, like the high school diploma or the college diploma, you know, it's a continuation. You know what I mean? You had to get one in order to get the other. You know what I mean? Well, you had an option to get that, but you know the flow. If you're in the flow, if we're speaking about the flow of things, you had to get one to get the other. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, they're like the yin and yang of each other. You know what I mean? But a gun to my head, I would probably say main ingredient.
All right, no doubt. Where does Pete fall in your top 10?
Top two. Top two.
He said top two.
Yeah, I mean, for all the reasons we've named, I mean, just I love real musical sounding stuff, man. And no lie, bro, no lie. I took my dog for a walk today and had my headphones on. When the Horns for Day Reminisce came on, bro, I mean, I almost like teared up, man, for real. Just Pete's beats and his music evokes feelings, man. And you know, it speaks to you, dog. So he's one of the greatest ever, bro.
All right. No doubt. Veg, where you got him?
With producers, I'm never really like set. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's difficult for me to be like, yo, this is my top 5, top 10 or whatever. But P-Rock is definitely in my top 5. Especially in 2018 because he got more beats. And think about how long ago, you know, some of them joints we talking about came out. Like, you know, I always tell the story, you know, I tell my kids, I'm like, oh yeah, this came out in 1999. To them, I might as well say the shit came out during the slavery days. Shit, they look at it like 1990. What, nigga? Like, when? Like, you know what I'm saying? You know? I'm thinking like, yo, that's like yesterday. Like, it ain't that old. You know what I'm saying? But you know, when you think about it though, you know, you think about how old you were when, you know, like for me, when I heard The Creator, and now I'm hearing beats today that Pete did, that I'm like, damn, them shits is crazy. Them shits are better. And that old shit is even good. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things where there's some producers who over time, you know, they kind of lax a little bit, but Pete stayed hungry, man. So for that, you know what I'm saying, I think he's definitely deserves to be in anybody's top 5 as far as hip hop producers go.
All right, no doubt. For me, y'all know me, I'm the technical dude, so I'm always looking at it like, you know, how this person changed the culture, how did they, you know, what did they do with what they were given, and throughout time, I've seen Pete drop lower for me, and in a good way, not lower away, but closer to, because for a long time he was like number 5, then he crept into number 4. Like right now, I probably have to say he's number 3. Just with all the technical things he brought to the table. And like Veg said, just the fact that he's still making bangers. Like the joint they did, the 80s blocks from Tiffany with Camp Low Part 2, like the beats on there are just stupid, man. You know what I mean? Like you got Camp Low with MOP on there, you know, and that beat is just, when you think about that, Camp Low and MOP,
yeah, that's crazy.
Sound like they belong in the same building, let alone on the same track. And
work.
Yeah, but it worked. And Pete used this sample that Evidence and Dilated had used before on him. I want to say the remix to Eardrums Pop, and it's a Bruce Lee sample, and Pete just annihilated it, man. And I mean, if cats haven't heard that 80s block from Tiffany's 2 with Camp Low and Pete Rock, it's crazy. And then just when you're looking at not just his body of work with Pete and CL, but he owns with Soul Survivor. This is my favorite producer album. You know, for a long time it was Marley's In Control, but this joint I could just listen to for just infinity, for eternity. Yeah. And then when you come back with Soul Survivor 2. You know what I mean? Which was crazy too. I mean, when you got a crazy with CL Smooth and It's a Love Thing, and with what he did with the Hawk sample for Warzone
too.
Yeah, with Dead Prez, and I mean, just hearing him back with CL Smooth was just amazing on this. And then, like Ty said earlier, with the We Roll from the New York's Finest joint, this is a joint on here called 914 with the locks. That's just crazy. And the joint he did with Royal Flush, Questions, that ended up also getting on Raekwon's Only Go for Cuban Links 2 joint. Like, he's kept it going. Whereas I can say I've seen a lot of other producers take their dip. I feel like Pete is reinventing himself. So, you know, who knows? He may even move up one day to 2 or 1. But for right now, I got him at my number 3 spot. Grant, where does your brother land in the top 2? I'm assuming top 2, top 3 for you ever.
Yeah, for sure. He the god to me, man. You know what I mean? Like, that's big bro, man. I ain't going nowhere but number 1 with him. You know what I mean? And I know cats can play keyboards and, you know, and innovate and creating, yeah. But I mean, the things that he did with the drum machine and records, man, like, was amazing. Like, you know, yeah, just, and the things I witnessed him do, you know what I mean? Like that Das Effects remix, how quick he made that. Me and him like going on weed runs, you know what I mean? And we come back and I'll be rolling up the herb, and you know, he be looking through records, and then by the time I had that thing lit, he have a record on and he's sampling it, and I be done got so high I passed out, you know what I mean? And I wake up and he tapping the drum machine. I'm like, oh, you still working on that same beat? He like, nah, nigga, I've been finished that. Hold up, let me save this sound. He saved the sound. Let me play you what I'm in. And he played me 2 more beats that he done made, you know what I mean, while I was asleep. You know what I mean? So that's just the things I've witnessed, and you know, I've sat that close to him, you know what I mean, and was able to see those wonderful things occur, you know what I mean? And then I look at his influence and the people who came behind him who were directly influenced. I mean, Jay Dilla, man.
Yeah.
Jay Dilla.
Hey, Kill, can I add something?
Yeah, no doubt.
I saw this interview one time with Large Professor, and he said that drum machine companies were changing their layouts based on how he was making records.
How Pete was making records.
How Pete was making records is how some drum machine companies started approaching how to set up their drum machines.
Wow.
You have to know. You have to notice. Akai moved those pads over originally from the 60, the 62, and the 3000. The pads were on the left. They moved them pads right over to the right. Some of the basic layouts of drum machines are based on Pete's technical proficiency. I heard Large Professor say that. Large said that. So that spoke volumes to me. Mr. Technical said it. Mr. Technical said that. So yeah, he's a pretty mammoth guy in hip hop production. Pretty mammoth.
Yeah, and I think one of the dopest things also about the technical side of Pete is like the thing that always I loved about hip hop is we took what wasn't meant to be made to make music and make music, whether it be turntablism or the SP1200 was not made to make hip hop records. You know what I mean? Like 10 seconds of sampling time again ain't shit. I remember when my man first got the SP and I got on it and I was sampling, it was like time up. I'm like, what the fuck, nigga? I ain't even getting nothing yet. Like, what you mean time up? So, you know, some people may be listening like 10 seconds is a long time. No, the fuck it's not. Like, it's not. Like,
when you try to make a beat, it ain't.
Yeah, now when you're trying to make a beat, 10 seconds ain't nothing. Like, and I was like, nah, I don't want the SP12. So when I got some money and my mom brought me some, I was like, get me the ASR 10 because that came with like a minute from the door. And I was like, I could work with a minute. This thing got 10 seconds. So again, like Iron always says, that nigga is an alien. Here's a very dope magazine. This is from 2008, and this is with Pete talking about how he made New York's Finest.
Thank you.
Yo,
just real quick, one of my favorite YouTube videos, man, came out about 10 years ago, and it was Pete Rock sampling that. I think it was the one where he was going to Love by Pat Benatar.
Yeah.
And just how meticulous he was and how he was setting it all up and he was explaining what he was doing. I mean, I'm not a producer, but I thought it was real dope, and a lot of young cats can learn from that video, man. And also, I'm a big Pat Benatar fan, and I love that song, man. I think he ended up doing that song for CL Smooth on CL Smooth's solo album.
Yeah.
But just watching him make that joint, man, was just a dope experience, man. Just a testament to Pete Rock's greatness, man.
It's funny you bring up that video we talked about with this book, which is a gem. You're not finding this anywhere unless you're coming out of your pocket with something with this. This is a gem of what I said. When you hear Pete Rock, his name is synonymous with the SP1200. The funny thing is, so after seeing that video, I copped the 2000 XL off of seeing Pete do that. I was on the ASR and I saw that video, and just seeing the pads and everything like that, I copped the 2000 XL because I saw that Pete Rock video. So that's what I'm talking about. Just not his influence on me, but his influence on the game. But like I was saying in his joint, it's like he's synonymous with records too. Like I know Diamond was one of the first people who brought up, I don't use break beats and digging in the crates, but it's just something about Pete and vinyl. Like when I see joints like this or seeing him, y'all can see this with him on the MP and everything like that. And it's wild because it's about the influence. I copped the blue MP strictly off of That's What Pete had. You know what I mean? It's still over here. Ev give me hell for it to this day, but I copped the blue joint just because I saw Pete had the joint on that YouTube video. So it's crazy that you brought that up, right? Yo, anybody got any? I got a list of like slept on Pete joints. Anybody got any Pete joints they want to run off real quick, or is everybody good?
I have something, but it's not a record.
All right, what you got?
Well, man, you know what I noticed, because me being a big old Pete Rock stan, it's kind of corny, but it's just the truth. He is the only producer, if you guys, look and pay attention, he creates his beats standing up. Everyone else is sitting in a chair in somewhat of a desk form of creating music. His whole career, he's created all those songs standing up. So I've always wondered if there was some type of feng shui type of thing connected to it. Because if you look at it, every time you've seen someone, quote unquote, making a beat, from Premier to Herbie Lovebug to Mantronic to Marley Marl to Mark the 45 King to Large Professor, they're sitting at a chair. Mm-hmm. Pete Rock is standing. So that is, I know you're like, okay, he's weird, but I wonder if there's a connection with that, with him standing to make beats.
I would say just the fact that he don't have a chair. You know what I mean? Because I've seen footage of him sitting down, making a beat at if you look on the Soul Survivor documentary, when he's making a beat, he's sitting in the chair. When he's making the Nori beat over, he's actually sitting down in a chair. But most of the time, you're right, he does stand up. In the basement, he don't have chairs. He never had a chair in the basement, like not for him. He had a chair, but it would sit way to the back. He would never use a chair when he was making beats in the original basement. You know what I mean? And then in his basement, he never had a chair. Didn't have room for no chair back there where he was at. So he just always stood up and made beats. But
interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. He just never had a chair around, so he didn't.
I just wondered if it just spent. Because you read a lot of stuff about energy and how energy passed through.
It actually gave him back problems and shit.
Word is bomb.
DJing and standing up and for hours at a time, DJing and standing up, making beats for hours at a time. It gave him some back issues. So I think he went to chiropractor and he's doing better with it.
Yo, Kill.
What's up, Tom?
2 more tracks real quick, man. I was listening to earlier. I really love about Pete Rock, man, on that main ingredient, that track Escape. I like that beat on Escape. I like his rhymes on Escape. I thought it was real dope. And that track, It's On You.
On You. I love that. How the beat come in.
Yeah, It's On You. It's crazy, man. Yeah. So that's yep.
All right, some of the slept on joints that I have that a lot of people don't talk about. I got Unstoppable by Mike Geronimo.
That's incredible.
It's a very incredible beat. It's off the album where Mike Geronimo sold his soul to the devil, and he was making moves with Puff. The album was horrible. The only saving grace on that album was the joint Pete did, the Unstoppable joint. And speaking of that, I just realized this. Another album that I despise, Raekwon's Immobilarity, he did Sneakers, which was
the one song everybody likes.
Yeah, that's the only song that, and I just hit me because I got it written here, and I'm like, wow, that's 2 albums that suck, except for the Pete Rock track. A lot of songs that people don't talk about, All City B-side, Priceless.
Whoa, that's crazy. That's crazy.
That was crazy. Another
what song was that?
Priceless.
Priceless by All City.
Yeah. The B-side with Green did the actual, and Pete did the B-side with Priceless. Trouble Man. We freaked the Isaac Hayes joint for Inspector Deck. That's a joint. Holding It Down, Big L.
Yeah.
Said it earlier, Ragu with Ghost. A joint I love, Robbo and De La Soul, Stay Away.
Hold on.
I love that joint.
Hold on.
I got so many
songs. Robbo.
Yeah, Robbo, yes. Stay Away. Stay Away. That shit is crazy. Here's
something you mentioned before, and I had something about it. Run through your list real quick, Kim.
I had Unstoppable, Priceless, Sneakers, Trouble Man with that.
Sneakers. They fucked that record up. Pete was mad about that because niggas mixed it without him or something, or tried to mix it without him, and they like jacked the beat up and stuff. So I think he had to go. I don't know if he ever went back in and fixed it. I think he might have, but the original version of it that he did before they went and we tried to touch it. I don't know what happened. Something happened when they and him and Ray and his peoples tried to like remix it or mix it or something, and they had messed it up. He was like a little vexed about that.
Yeah, the funny thing, I heard the same story. I heard that story about a Ghost joint that he did that he wasn't happy with the way that they mixed it. So yeah, I definitely that. A joint that a lot of people haven't heard when I talk about. It's a joint called Yes Sir with Corrupt.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I'm sorry. I know about that song. I'm sorry.
Crazy.
They got a video for it.
He had a video for it.
It's wild because whenever I say that song, people be like, damn, he did something else with Corrupt. Yo, Yes Sir is crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Hard, yo. The video where they're sitting on the step, that's in front of his house.
Oh, word? I never even saw the video. I didn't even know.
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
All right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
they're sitting on the front of his house.
Yeah.
And I think they're filming in his basement too.
The crazy thing, I got Warzone by Dead Prez because I loved how he freaked the sample for the Hawk. And the last but not least, one of my favorite slept on Pete Rock joints, Revenge with Grab Lover, man. I love that joint that y'all did, man. Yeah.
I was extremely nervous recording that song.
Why you say that?
He said the same thing. What's wrong? Why are you nervous, nigga? I said, yo, it's you, nigga. It's you. I'm trying to make sure I'm dope for you. You know, it's you. Nigga, whatever, nigga. Just, come on, man. Let's do the song, man. And we did it. You know what I mean?
That's dope.
He was like, yo, I do like the second verse better than the first verse. So I really do. I do. I was like, oh, all right. Thanks for, thanks. I was like, cool. But yeah, I wanted to make sure I came off on that shit.
Yeah, and
decent, you know what I mean?
And the funny thing is,
I thank you for your opinion on that. I appreciate you.
Oh, nah. Grab, you already know. Every time we link up, I'm in your ear like, yo, why you ain't robbing, man? You want my so that goes on every time we link up, man. So, and the funny thing is, just sitting here, I'm looking at it. Yo, Pete is we already know Pete's a monster, but I'm just thinking, yo, if you give him 5 mics for Mecca, you give him 5 mics for Maine. This joint right here, I know it's the bootleg Grab. I don't know where I brought it from, but you give him 5 for the I&I album. I give him 5 mics for Soul Survivor. It's a hell of a track record right there. When you talk about producing full and fast, now I know everybody else may not give him 5s, but for me, that's how I look at those 4 albums. And you'd be hard pressed to find another producer who has produced 4 5-mic albums that to me are timeless and to this day.
And not to cut you off, but if you just what's bugging me out right now in 2018, brother, is that people are still checking for something that was created over 23 years ago.
Yeah.
23 years ago. Yeah. Music. You know what I mean? Like hip-hop music. You know what I mean? And as finicky as these fans are and as fly-by-night as situations are, and you know, everything that is included with that, people are still checking for the life I live, man. That still dumbfounds me to this day. It amazes me.
Now explain that to him, Greg, because I know we spoke, because The Life I Live is the name of the album. Because for years I thought the album was called Center of Attention.
Center of Attention. So with that, we had the name The Life I Live as the title of the album. I don't think it got in when it got bootleg. Cats took, I guess, the song they thought was the hottest song and titled the album that, Center of Attention. You know what I mean? That's not really what it's about. Like being Rasta and being that it was Rasta and Muslim themed as well, because Rabo's a Muslim. You're not trying to call yourself the center of attention. You know what I mean? It's more about the life I live. You know what I mean? Because that's what Rasta's about. It's about the life you live. It's not a religion per se. It's a way of life. You know what I mean? So it's more about the life I live than being the center of attention. So
right.
Interesting.
That would have never been in the title of the album. You know
hey,
but I mean, like you said, bro, even to this day, that's one of my favorite albums. One of the most bootlegged albums, because Cass was waiting for that. And another reason.
I'm sorry to cut you off.
No.
One of the bootlegged albums in hip hop history. I don't know how true that is. I've heard that a couple of times, so I don't know how true that shit is, but that's what they say about it.
Yeah. And the crazy thing to me, man, is like I always said, that's Five Mike. And one remix I forgot, the Fakin' Jax remix, where he used the same bells that Preem was using. I want to say on the
record. He got them from he sampled them from MCs Act Like They Don't Know. Those bells.
Right.
He was just having fun with it. Yeah, you know, I'm gonna throw Primo's bells in there and shit. He didn't say that, but
right.
He like, oh, them is Primo. He's like, yeah, I just fucked with it. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, all right, shit sound dope.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Those is Preem's. What's the face? That's the bells from MCs Act Like They Don't Know. If you listen to the instrumental and listen to when the bells come in, you'll hear the little sample of KRS in there. Like, you'll hear it.
Yeah,
it's right from there.
So, prayerfully, you know, cats have been educated. You should have enough homework to go home and listen to if you haven't heard Pete Rock. One of the funniest things I did, and I'm gonna post it again this week. I was in a barbershop, and this was a couple of years ago, and the cat was like, "Man, Pete ain't made nothing dope since Main Ingredient in '95." And I'm like, "My nigga, like really?" Like, so I literally made a mix called like '97 to 2014 or something, just to get the ball, because the thing is I've realized that you have people who listen to hip hop, and then you have hip hop heads. You know what I mean? And around the times in the '90s, everybody kind of listened to hip hop. I remember girls like, yo, you heard that Come Clean J. Rue joint? And I know they don't really care about hip hop. So there was a point where everybody was listening to hip hop. And at a certain point, a lot of people outgrew hip hop. You know what I mean? So this dude, obviously in the barbershop, wasn't somebody who was still checking for stuff, because he wouldn't have said something like, Pete ain't made nothing dope since the Main Ingredient. I mean, he didn't even know about Soul Survivor or none of that stuff. So I'm going to definitely post that, because cats need to understand that Pete still got beat. So, yo, Tom, give them all the information where they can get at you, good brother.
You know it. IntoTheDome.com, Twitter, same for Instagram. Also, check out me and my man Big B-Roll Network on YouTube, That Time in Hip Hop. That's it.
All right, no doubt. Grab, give them all the good info, brother. Where can they get at you, man?
I'm on Twitter. Have named me Grap. That's my Twitter handle. I don't do too many social media situations. I do one at a time, so you'll find me there. 280 characters, pictures, whatever, you know, holler. Just want to give folks a heads up. In 14 days, it will be Pete Rock Day. All right, and on Pete Rock Day, I'm going to do something dope on Twitter. All day I'll be posting and shouting, you know, posting joints or whatever throughout the day, but I'm going to do something really dope on Twitter that day. So, folks, keep your eyes open and ears peeled. I finally decided to do the thing that I wanted to do. I'm going to do it on Pete Rock Day. June 21st, Pete Rock Day. All right?
That's
yo, grab and tell them where they could grab the instrumental joint you dropped last 2 years ago.
Shoot. copies here if you need one in the hour. You know what I'm saying? I'm really trying to, see that paper. You know what I mean? Because now that paper come way late from all the other people. I think Fat Beats and all them other people. I think they keeping that little bit of money.
No doubt.
Yeah, but you could check online for it. It's called The Sounds of Mount Vernon. I have a visual right here for you. This is it right here. I mean, CD Sounds of Mount Vernon. That's it backwards or whatever. And it's an all instrumental album. You know what I mean? It's pretty cool. If you need something to work out to, run to, whatever, make love to, you know what I mean? Roll your spliff to, whatever, you know what I mean? Read your Bible to it, whatever. Read your Quran to it. It's all good. It's music for everybody. It's beautiful music, you know what I mean? So definitely check that out for sure.
All right.
And I just want to say an honorable mention for Beats with Pete, Vitamins with him and Nori.
I don't think I ever heard that joint.
You never heard Vitamins?
What's that off?
It's I don't even know. It's like you go type in Nori on YouTube Vitamins. It'll come up.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard that.
Marvin Gaye.
Vitamins. All right, I gotta check for that. I gotta check.
New joint. It's a newer joint.
All right.
It's called Vitamins. Yeah, Nori killed it too.
What? A new Nori?
Yeah.
Nori
rocking that joint.
All right. No doubt. Vern, give them all your stuff, good brother.
Twitter V Chandler 10, Instagram VE Chandler 10.
All right, Vegas, give them all that good stuff, good brother.
You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Vegas World INC, and you can check out my podcast, Hip Hop News and Perspectives, on SoundCloud.com/Hip Hop Now Podcast.
All right, no doubt. You already know this with me, Kill 889 on Twitter and IG. We'll Make Beats for Food. Just dropped a new EP with my man Mad Hatton Mayor. It's called Killing Myself. 5 joints, banging, produced by me, my man on the mic. So definitely check that out. We'll Make Beats for Food.com. Yo, I appreciate y'all.
Wait, did we get Aaron's info?
Aaron, I think he dipped off.
Okay.
No, I think. Am I there?
No, he's there.
All right.
You here? Your visuals not showing up.
Oh man, I think my phone's dying. But Twitter and Instagram is the same.
Your stuff.
Okay, no problem. Twitter and Instagram are the same. DJ_IRAN, and that's where you can find me. And on WHUR if you live in DC.
Yeah, not to mention me too. Me and Iron and Grab. I'm gonna get with you because me and Iron are doing. We're gonna be doing a show together. That's gonna be real dope.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, and I think we definitely need to put on one of the first apps. Huh?
A podcast?
Nah, more of a video show. Like more of more of something in DC. It's gonna be about food, records, and music. So it's definitely, we gonna feed folk. We gonna, pick your brain. We gonna go digging and try to hit up a different, restaurant and dig and kind of talk about what we pick up and everything like that. So yeah, definitely one of the first folk we gonna have on.
Hey, Kill.
Yes, sir.
Kill, I just gotta ask Grab one little simple question, Grab, and I'll let you go. Hey, Grab, if you had an opportunity to pick what would have been the second single for the I album, what would you have chosen to be the second single after Faking Jacks?
That's a good one. It would have been between Center of Attention and Crossroads. But I think Center of Attention was going to be the next single because we did a remix to it.
You lying.
Yeah, there's a remix to it, but we never put it out. And I don't even know I don't know where it is. I don't have it on cassette, CD, nothing. Like I remember the beat. The beat was so sick, yo. The beat was so sick. I remember.
Because Grab, the reason why I asked Grab, because there's 2 songs. Of course, all of us had a bootleg, but there are 2 songs that I don't think made the bootleg. One, of course, is Keep On. That wasn't on the bootleg. And then I recently, within the last week, found out that there was another song called 1212 that I've never heard of in my life. Is that incorrect?
I've never heard. We didn't do no song called 1212.
Okay, all right. Then the information I heard was wrong, but Keep On was definitely one.
Unless it's they're titling it that and it's something else.
Okay, but Keep On was definitely supposed to be on there, correct?
Yeah, it is on the album. Keep On is on the album. What's not on the original album is No More Words.
Wow.
We made that before we actually started. Like that was like one of the earliest songs for the album. Either it was the earliest song or it was one of the earliest songs, because later on that's when I did Wonderlust, and that's when we was doing the Center of Attention remix. And actually we had rhymes over that beat that Phife, Black Thought, and whoever it was freestyled over. The one that he said rest in peace Phife or whatever. We had rhymes over that beat. I wish I could remember the rhymes. I remember spitting rhymes over that.
All right, well, thank you, Grap. I appreciate the insight.
Nah, it's all good, man. It's all good.
No doubt. So again, Grap, good looking for chopping it up with us tonight, good brother, giving us these true Grap love stories.
So
we gotta have an Apartment 5B with just true Grap Hollywood stories.
Tyler Murphy.
So I'll be forgetting stuff. When it'll spark me to remember some things. So
we gotta get it going, brother. All right, y'all. Well, have a dope night, man. I'll check y'all next week, man.
All right, God bless you. Thank you, Kill.
Love everybody. Peace and love. And Kill, thank you again for your prayers, man. Appreciate it.
Good, brother. Like I said, I'm gonna bring that Henny too, so it's all good, man.
Absolutely. It ain't gotta be a big bottle, man. It could be one of those small joints. Yo.
I got you, bro. I got you.
God bless you guys. Take care, everybody.